What if I told you that most prostate problems don't start in a doctor's office? They start in moments you don't even notice. 5 extra minutes holding your urine. One more drink to relax. Another evening sitting instead of moving. None of these feel dangerous. None of them hurt. And that's exactly why they're so powerful. By the time symptoms appear, the damage has already been building for years. Tonight, I want to walk you through the real reasons prostate problems explode after 60. And more importantly, the small daily decisions that quietly protect you or slowly work against you. This isn't about fear. This isn't about selling miracles. This is about control, the kind most men don't realize they still have. Stay with me, because the most important habit doesn't require a supplement, a prescription, or even a workout. It starts with what you do the moment your body speaks to you. Let's start with a hard truth. By age 70, the majority of men experience some degree of prostate enlargement. That statistic alone has convinced generations of men that suffering is simply the cost of aging. But statistics don't tell the full story. They tell you how common something is, not why it happens. The prostate doesn't suddenly fail at 60 or 65. It responds to decades of signals. Inflammation that never fully shuts off. Hormones drifting out of balance year after year. Blood flow gradually slowing. Pressure applied repeatedly every single day. The prostate is small, but it sits at a crossroads, directly beneath the bladder and surrounding the urethra. That location makes it incredibly sensitive to lifestyle stressors. When those stressors pile up long enough, symptoms appear. Waking up multiple times a night, weak or interrupted urinary flow, constant urgency, anxiety about bathrooms, fragmented sleep, fatigue that bleeds into every part of life. Most men are told this is normal. What they're rarely told is that normal doesn't mean unavoidable. Aging is not damage. Accumulation is. Think of prostate health like a pressure gauge. Each bad habit adds a small amount of pressure. Each protective habit releases a little. One day of poor choices doesn't matter. 10 years does. This is why two men of the same age can have completely different experiences. Same genetics, same decade of life. Radically different outcomes. The difference isn't luck, it's repetition. Let's talk about walking, not as fitness, but as medicine. Most men underestimate walking because it feels too simple. It doesn't burn, it doesn't exhaust you, and it doesn't look impressive. That's exactly why it works. Walking activates 3 systems that matter deeply for prostate health. 1. Inflammation control. Chronic inflammation fuels prostate enlargement. Walking lowers inflammatory markers throughout the body, including the pelvic region. 2. Pelvic blood flow. Movement improves circulation. Better blood flow means more oxygen, better nutrient delivery, and faster waste removal from prostate tissue. 3. Hormonal regulation. Walking reduces stress hormones while supporting healthier testosterone balance, critical after 60. This isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. 30 minutes daily, even broken into shorter walks, changes the internal environment your prostate lives in. You're not exercising, you're resetting pressure. Alcohol is one of the most misunderstood prostate stressors. Many men believe a drink relaxes them, and mentally, it might. Physiologically, it does the opposite. Alcohol increases systemic inflammation, irritates the bladder directly, disrupts hormone balance, worsens urgency and frequency, interferes with sleep architecture. After 60, tolerance changes. What once felt harmless becomes cumulative damage. The key insight most men miss is weekly volume matters more than daily habits. A few drinks spread carefully is very different from habitual nightly drinking, even if the total seems moderate. Reducing alcohol doesn't punish your lifestyle. It gives your prostate space to recover. And recovery often begins faster than men expect. Not all healthy foods affect the prostate directly. Cooked tomatoes are different. They contain lycopene, an antioxidant with a specific affinity for prostate tissue. But here's the detail that matters. Raw tomatoes are fine. Cooked tomatoes are effective. Heat breaks down plant cell walls, making lycopene absorbable. Add healthy fat, and absorption improves even more. This isn't about perfection or restriction. It's about strategic nutrition, eating foods that send a protective signal to a vulnerable organ. 3 servings per week isn't extreme. It's intentional. Excess body fat isn't passive storage. It's metabolically active tissue. Visceral fat, especially around the abdomen, releases inflammatory compounds and alters hormone levels in ways that directly impact prostate growth. More fat means higher estrogen activity, lower testosterone efficiency, increased insulin resistance, more inflammation. The prostate responds to this environment by growing. Here's the encouraging part. You don't need dramatic weight loss. A 10% reduction creates measurable hormonal shifts. Not six-pack lean, not athletic transformation, just enough to break the inflammatory loop. Portion awareness, daily movement, sustainability. This is not about dieting. It's about signaling safety to your body. Now we arrive at the habit that surprises almost everyone. Holding urine feels harmless. It feels disciplined. It feels productive. Physiologically, it's destructive. When you delay urination, the bladder stretches, pressure transfers directly onto the prostate, inflammation increases, bladder muscles weaken, stagnant urine increases irritation. This isn't theoretical, it's mechanical. Your body sends an urge for a reason. Ignoring it repeatedly trains dysfunction. Responding immediately removes pressure and prevents cumulative damage. This single change often produces the fastest symptom relief, not because it's magical, but because it stops ongoing harm. Each habit alone helps. Together, they compound. Walking improves circulation. Weight loss improves hormones. Diet reduces oxidation. Alcohol reduction calms inflammation. Timely urination removes mechanical stress. This isn't a checklist. It's an ecosystem. And when the environment improves, the prostate responds. The biggest mistake men make is trying to change everything at once. Don't. Start with the habit that removes damage immediately. Tonight, stop holding urine. Tomorrow, walk. This week, adjust alcohol. Add cooked tomatoes. Over time, refine portions. Track sleep and symptoms. Progress doesn't come from intensity. Here's what I want you to take with you. Prostate problems don't arrive suddenly, and they don't disappear suddenly either, but they respond quietly, steadily to the way you live. Every time you choose to move, every time you listen to your body, every time you reduce pressure instead of pushing through it, you're voting for a different future, not one defined by fear, interruptions, or resignation, but by control. You don't need to overhaul your life. You need to stop fighting your body and start cooperating with it. And that starts tonight. Not with effort, with awareness.